Hi, Madonna, Louise, Veronica Ciccone here.
When will you understand that I am a person and not a thing?
Look it up.
Do something else. Do my eyebrows.
Better to say, am I being true to myself? And is this what I want to say? And have I expressed myself the way I want to express myself? I mean, that's what it's all about.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna, Louise, Veronica Ciccone. Hey, everybody, it's Liberty.
Hey guys, it's Tony, and love makes the world go round. I know this because I've been listening to True Blue 35th anniversary edition all weekend.
Oh, sweet. And hey everybody, it's Steph, and welcome to another action-packed episode of MLVC, the Madonna podcast. Happy August. Happy Madonna birthday month, and welcome back, Liberty.
Yay!
Welcome back, Liberty.
Oh my gosh, it's been months.
Yes.
How are y'all doing down there?
She's been a busy girl.
Well, it's very hot down here in the Airstream, but, we're making it work.
Y'all having a Texas barbecue down there without us, Liberty? What the hell?
Yeah,
How are those kosher vegan hot dogs tasting?
well, they are mighty sausagey. I do enjoy me a little bit of wurst.
I have a feeling our Texas accents are a little all over the place. Like, I feel like we're doing like Southern Belle and then white trash and...
Yeah, I had a premonition that I was going to speak to Liberty today. I was walking in my neighborhood and I saw like a tote bag from H-E-B on someone's shoulder, and I was like, there's my sign, because that's the only supermarket chain in Texas. So it's always very daunting to see one of those bags in the wild here in New York.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They don't have like Acme or...
I mean, H-E-B kind of took over, right, Liberty?
Yeah.
Whole Foods?
We have Whole Foods, but...
We invented Whole Foods, actually.
Yes, actually, they're born in Austin, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we have some Trader Joe's, but
well, you have to. Where else were the Texans wait in line for hours on end to get low priced groceries?
I mean, speaking of supermarkets, where did Madonna shop for all the food for that barbecue?
Oh, okay. We are gonna get to that in a second. Let's not jump ahead. Before we get into things, I just wanted to take a brief moment just to plug our new Patreon account. I'm sure we all know you've been listening to the show. You're probably aware that producing the podcast these past 3 seasons has been a labor of love for both Tony and myself. So if you love this podcast and you appreciate the hard work that goes into crafting these episodes for you, we are humbly asking for, at the very least, a small minimum donation of $5 to help keep this podcast going. And FYI, before you come to us in the DMs, this is not money so Tony and I can take a vacation. It is
right. We're not going shopping before we go visit our mother in Philadelphia. That's not happening.
Exactly. It is just for basic things like subscription costs on Podbean, recouping costs from like equipment upgrades that we had to make so our audio sounds better, editing software, blah, 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 blah.
And also for Murray's Tender Vittles.
Yeah. You can find the link in the bio of our Instagram, which is, of course, at MLVC Podcast. You can donate to the podcast. You get some nice perks like shout outs on a future episode, special live episodes just for subscribers and donators, and
we'll come up with more stuff down the line.
Yeah. I mean, it's tons of goodies for you guys. So
listen, we appreciate all of our listeners, and we love that we've created this community where we can all scream at each other and love each other. But yeah, let's keep it going. I mean, this is fun, guys.
Yeah, help them out, guys. Come on, they're doing such a great job. They've got so many good guests that they've brought in, and they've got guests that other people haven't had. So you've got to give them credit where credit is due. So.
Yeah, gotta beg, borrow, and steal sometimes to get these guests.
And Liberty is not a compensated spokesperson.
We have not paid Liberty to endure.
Yeah, so about that.
Yeah, Liberty's gonna hit us up after this and be like, "Where's my paycheck, bitches?"
Yeah.
I think I just saw her invoice in my inbox.
I mean, come on, you guys. I mean, I don't want to be lifting, cassettes from Sam Goody.
Exactly. I love how it always goes back to who's that girl. I mean, it has to.
I know. Oh, back in the day.
I worked at a Sam Goody for like a Christmas season when I was like 16, and it was the year that the New Kids on the Block Christmas album came out. So you can imagine how horrible my life was for.
You must have had to wear like earplugs the entire shift.
No, we had to wear Santa caps.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, sorry to hear about that, Tony.
And it was not a Santa baby moment. It was not at all.
I bet you I had that New Kids Christmas album because I was a big New Kids fan.
Mm-hmm. I think any teenage girl at the time, it was like required. They had to actually come to my Sam Goody to buy it.
Teenage girl, gay man. You know, it was. I mean, I had a crush on Jordan. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
Oh, Jordan and Joey, both. I flip flop between them.
Ooh,
I like the one Madonna liked.
Well, I mean, I have to say, I actually had everything in my room. Actually, was New Kids. I mean, sheets. I had a telephone, and on the side was a 900 number, and I didn't know that it cost. Well, of course, I didn't read the fine
no.
print. Anyway, I called it, and I talked to.
Called it.
Yes. It's just a few $100s, I'm sure.
Do you guys remember the Madonna 900 number?
I don't remember, but I remember the 1-800 confess or 1888 confess or something like that.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was with the Confessions. No,
Yeah.
but this was like around the time that Truth or Dare came out, and everybody was obsessed with Madonna's boobs before she decided to charge you $50 to see them. And it was like late at night on MTV, and it was like, call 1-900 Madonna and hear all her juicy, dirty secrets. He goes, hear gossip you'll never hear anywhere. It was like really bottom of the barrel, and I was like,
was it her on the phone?
No. It was a complete like like a cash grab.
It was like Kurt Loder just like picking up the phone.
No, it was probably downtown Julie Brown like screaming. I saw Madonna at a party.
Whatever VJ was in the guest room.
Like, I saw Madonna in the bathroom and she didn't wash her hands. Like,
Ew,
what kind of gossip what kind of gossip are people gonna like tell on this thing? But I mean, think about it though. I mean, all the pop stars had a 900 number. Vanilla Ice had one, I remember.
True, yeah.
So basically, this was like Gossip Girl before there was Gossip Girl.
I do wonder whatever. This is actually jumping back to the 1-888 confess. Did you call?
I do remember calling, and it was a canned ad for the album with just like, it was before we had heard the whole song of Hung Up, so you only heard like the tinny sample. You know what I mean?
You could leave a
and
message.
Of course, yeah, and you could also. I did leave a confession.
I did.
I would love to know who had to listen to those. Some poor intern, probably.
I'm just remembering I did it, and it was like some not repeatable confession, but yeah.
Can you imagine one day she's like plays them in an arena somehow, like pre-show, and you hear
it's
that?
Like it's an interlude, a screen with just like all these terrible confessions coming up.
Oh gosh, that would be awful.
Well, that's actually what I thought was going to happen. I thought she was going to compile them, and then we were going to wait for her new show to open, and we'd hear our voices saying like, "I once stole from an HEB."
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God bless.
And now, this week in Ciccone.
See, I get what I want.
Ooh, I love when you say that. It just gives me
auto-tune,
shivers.
baby.
Yeah, seriously.
Thank you so much. I've been working. I'll be here all night.
Well, yeah, so Madonna's been rather busy lately, which is good for us because it gives us something to talk about. I kind of wanted to, Tony already took us there to
the God, he's singing on the show.
Sorry. I can cut that out in post, but I won't. The Madonna trailer trash video. Yeah, what do y'all think about her trailer trash?
Well, I'm offended. I am trailer trash, and I thought she was appropriating my culture.
Right. It doesn't bother me. There's a comedian actually who has a whole shtick, trailer trash Tammy. I don't know if you've seen her on Instagram.
No, but I feel like I'm gonna
Google
well
that
acquainted with this lady.
Trailer trash Tammy. That sounds like fun.
She does this like whole shtick about being kind of trashy, trailer trash, and I think it's really funny personally. As long as you have a sense of humor, and I feel like that's what gets lost a little bit is people just want to find any little thing to to pick apart, that we can about whatever she's doing. But I have to, whoever thought up the pictures, the set,
creative direction. Yeah.
yes,
Oh, I'm sure it was Ricardo. I mean, I was just going to say the whole thing looked very editorial. It reminded me of these juxtapositions that we've seen in fashion before, for example, the model in a bikini in a war-torn landscape, or the gypsies in furs in the caravans, or high fashion in the ghetto, or all that stuff. And it was well curated. I just wanted to know more about the food.
right.
Look, like how it tasted or where it came from.
It would have been nice to have like a description of the food and maybe some recipes,
Oh, Madonna does Martha Stewart.
Like, this
Here,
is what
I'm
I
having a
swear.
bratwurst with a side of kraut, and I like to
Exactly.
put ketchup on my dog, and it's a gluten-free bun, and
Right.
and oh, here's David Banda wearing Versace.
That's
First
what
of
I
all,
needed.
so
Yes.
you know that was a paid ad. Like, she didn't put paid ad, but whatever Airstream that was why she did that. That was she must have gotten paid probably a sum of money, an undisclosed amount, and because that creative direction was stellar. I mean, they had little birds floating
and Stella
on
was
a
there
wire.
too.
Stella was there, yes. And, yeah. All the I was surprised that she was using the kids as much as she was, but I kind of liked that they were there and styled. And
Well,
Stefan,
yeah.
I read that there were some extra clothes left over, and they were in small sizes. So she said, "Hey kids, let's get you guys in here."
Well, glamping, I think, is actually kind of a thing that's kind of coming up, and people are doing, especially this summer. People are really like, I've looked into it, like yurts and things like that people are
Mm-hmm.
booking, and want to go out in nature, but not really be in nature, and still also look fabulous, and with your fishnets and both
heels.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Right. Like, you want to go out in nature, but you don't want to leave your estate. I totally get that.
precisely.
Right. Exactly. Well, exactly. I mean, that was probably on her Hamptons estate, in the backyard by the pool, and I don't blame her. I mean, if I'm gonna camp, it's glamping all the way for me. I am not sleeping in a sleeping bag on a ground in a tent. I'm basically me in a tent in a sleeping bag is just an open buffet for the mosquito population in whatever woods I'm eating. Like, I would just come out of there tons of bites, and it would just not be fun.
I don't want anything crawling in any kind of creepy crawlies. It's not my thing. I'm not into it. But Airstreams are super hot right now, so and they're also kind of interesting shape. So
well, I see that Madonna's trying to become the queen of social media.
Queen of social media, I like that.
Queen of social
No,
media.
I was gonna say she was doing memes. She had that "see what I did there" moment where she recreated the music album cover.
True.
Yes, she is. Yeah, she's hopping on it. I mean,
I was like, where's the smoothie? Like, come on, Madonna, if you're gonna do this all the way,
Right. Well, I have to me, this was one of the best photo shoots, her backyard photo shoots that I've seen in a long time. The looks were great. The ideas were good. Even, I mean, it's interesting too, when you see other people she works with will repost because they worked on it. So you get an idea who's helping her put the looks together and dolling her up for.
Oh yeah, this isn't just her on a random Sunday afternoon being like, kids, let's go out to the Airstream and take a couple snaps on the iPhone. No, this is like hair, makeup, wardrobe. Like, people are styling this. There is it's a team of people. I mean, that's how I would love to spend a Sunday afternoon personally.
It's totally eyes, hair, mouth, figure.
Ooh, yes. Thank you.
I don't think we've had an Evita reference on the show before.
Thank you. That's good. I love. Tony, I'm putting my hands up on the balcony of the Casa Rosada to you right now.
I lost my train of thought a minute ago, and it just came back like a Mack truck. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Keep the puns coming, Tony. You're on it. You're on it. We're jumping eras. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've not been able to keep up, we have thrown around the eras. We've gone from Evita to erotica to True Blues coming your way. Just hold on tight.
Well, I mean, we can go back to talking about the trailer trash, but I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to stand for it anymore. And that's, I think, how Madonna and all the other pop queens are feeling with this the baby idiot
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
God.
and this like ridiculous, like mad ignorant spew. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. You know, I'm not even going to
So
repeat it. We all
stupid. Yeah,
know what he said.
exactly. We don't need to reiterate his words.
No.
However, we do want to call out the fact that Madonna took him to task,
Mhm.
and as well as many others, Elton John, and I think, well, and
Dua
now
Lipa,
now he's
because
learning
he
his
tarnished her
lesson.
name. Yeah, he's tarnishing people's names. These people want to work with him because he's
I don't even
contributes
know
to.
who he is.
Well, but he's big on TikTok. He charts and he does a lot of collaborations because these pop acts know that he builds their image in other charts. So, but
Oh, yeah.
now he's gonna have to be a little bit smarter because he's just by these remarks set back the AIDS movement 30, 40 years. And it's irresponsible. That's all I'm going to say about it. But yeah, Madonna, stand up for your people, and this is part of her legacy. This is how she's been talking to people since the beginning of her career.
Yeah, and I think it was really good that she had something to say, and in a way, as she was giving him an opportunity to be educated in a little bit of what she was saying, which is also important because maybe he does. I mean, I'm not trying to defend him, but I'm saying maybe he just has no idea.
Mhm.
And I reckon there are a
True.
lot of people who could stand to learn a thing or two. I mean, with all of the other things, people forget that this is real life for people.
Yeah, and it's still happening.
Right. And I do worry that somebody like this baby, I feel even dumb saying his name.
Call him Jonathan. That's his proper name.
Oh, good. Thank you so much.
Jonathan DeBaby. There you
Listen,
go. Jonathan
I'm sure he
DeBaby.
hates being called Jonathan, so let's just call
Oh,
him
for
Johnny
sure.
Boy.
Jonathan, yeah.
Well, look, and I mean, honestly, baby for just anyway.
Jonathan, sit down.
Please take several seats, baby,
Uh-huh.
please. He's got to be wearing diapers daily, but
Mhm.
I don't know. It scares me to think that he comes out and says it because he feels that way, and that there could be a lot of other people who feel that way and just haven't said it, or we've not heard them say it in this public platform. So we need to educate, and
Yeah.
people need to understand in order to eliminate these prejudices and these frankly offensive opinions.
Well, he's learning his lesson because not Lollapalooza.
Yeah,
Or
Lollapalooza.
Was it Lollapalooza?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just dropped his ass. So
Good. And I'm
hopefully,
glad.
hopefully
Yeah.
other people will start stepping up, and he'll realize, oh, okay, this could actually affect my financial standing.
Yeah, no, Liberty, you made a great point. I mean, his voice reaches so many people, especially a lot of young people. So if he has a loud voice, then our voices, led by Madonna and Dua Lipa and Elton John, our queer allies, need to be louder, right?
Yeah, they do. And I
Mhm.
mean, I'll say, I'm a high school teacher. I've heard students speak like that. And it is my responsibility as a teacher to say to them, in a way that they can become educated, like I said, do you understand what you're saying? Do you understand why what you're saying is inappropriate? And it's also, it's just hurtful. It's
Yeah.
hurtful.
Yeah.
And oftentimes they really have no idea. They're just repeating something that someone else said somewhere else.
Exactly. So it's your responsibility to lock them in the room and play In This Life before they can go to their next class.
There
You leave
go.
me. That is something I've thought about. You go in there and you do not come out until you have heard exactly what Madonna, and you know what? You read this insert by Madonna from in her Like a Prayer album.
Yeah, and don't forget to comment on the smell of patchouli, because if you don't, I'm taking 5 points off.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, turning our focus onto slightly happier notes, we can all feel wonderment and bubbly joy knowing that the Cherish video is now in high definition on Madonna's YouTube channel.
Bubbly joy. This is news to me. I need to go.
Oh yeah, the hue is different. The clarity of every rippling ab of each merman cascading out of the water. Well, can we just talk for a minute about how good those mermen are in that video? I honestly think I think I owe part of my coming out to Tony Ward and that other guy, or there's two other guys. How many guys are there? 3?
Oh gosh, I don't know, but I'm gonna have to.
They were good though. They were so.
Yeah.
Herb Ritz knew what he was doing.
That was that's you know what? That's one of my favorite videos. It's not one of my favorite songs, but I love.
It's not one of
that
Madonna's
video.
favorite songs either.
Yeah.
I don't know why I love that song so much.
Do you really?
I think she thinks it's too sweet, but then I would have to counter that Madonna with Superstar.
Edit that out. Well, there is a fun fact about the Cherish video. So, the Cherish video was shot by Herb Ritz, and it was shot in Malibu. And a young girl with a dream lived nearby by the name of Kimberly Kardashian. And she and her sister, whose name also starts with a K, decided to haul their asses down to the beach and watch Madonna shoot this video. And a lifelong fascination began.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. I heard, there was an interview. Was it? I'm not sure if it was Chelsea Handler or David Letterman, but she talked about how much she loved Madonna and how she first met her. And I think if someone listening knows the whole story, she gave her something. She met her that day and she gave her something. I don't remember what it was, but that was when
Wow.
Kim
A
was
lock of hair.
Yeah, that's when Kim said, "I will be at the Madame X show when I grow up."
Right.
No, but I love that because if I would have seen something like that, I probably would have been found dead on that beach.
It was probably Madonna was probably renting their private beach to do it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Madonna's like, find me a private beach. This is not a proper Madonna imitation, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Find me a private beach, and that's where I shall wait around with all those hot mermen.
Yes, I want
and make sure it's nowhere near Cher's house. Just joking.
Yeah. Well, and so speaking of a new Madonna video, where would we be without MTV playing Madonna videos in her early career? And MTV has just joined the Over 40 Club.
Wow, that's something else. I was thinking about that earlier today about how they used to show music videos and
back in the day.
Yeah, I truly enjoyed that. But I didn't even have MTV. I had to go somewhere else to watch that, and I would just be glued, absolutely glued.
Yeah, I remember long lazy summers with just MTV playing all day long. But when I think about that, I always remember that there was a lot of commercials being shoved in our faces because think about it, there was probably about 10-minute blocks of 10-minute blocks of videos followed by 30 minutes
10-minute blocks of commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was all geared towards us. So I guess at some point we didn't know if what we were watching was an actual video or something being sold to us, but we loved it just the same.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday, MTV.
Oh, what do they play now? I haven't watched MTV in ages.
They showed their demographic grew up with them, and I'm talking about the kids that started watching MTV during TRL and Teen Mom and all that. So that demographic grew up, and now that's their programming because those people aren't going anywhere.
Oh, so it's like
the challenge,
grandma reality shows, and
and these
how to shop on a budget in the grocery store.
Maybe they still show like Catfish or something.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't go that far as like grandma,
Real
programming.
World 55.
No, it's more like hot mom in her 30s, shopping at Hot Topic still because she likes Paramore.
Oh, jeez.
That's the demographic.
Wow. Well, they should put some videos back on because that programming sounds like it needs some help.
They do have a sister station that shows videos, but every time I decide to see what's playing, no, it's like MTV something. They have like
MTV Sis. I could see it being like, hey, let's go to our sister station, MTV Sis. What's up, sis? And then
but
just like,
hey
y'all.
Every time I tune in, it's someone I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's a sign of our kind of growing up past that, but that the youth, everybody gets their stuff from YouTube now. So
Yeah, TikTok. I'm
Or
telling you,
TikTok, yeah.
people don't need MTV. They've got TikTok.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's, even though there are still artists, I would say in Europe, really still, especially France, the French love the music video art form, and they're
Yeah.
still really, really good at telling a story in the music video, which is one of the things that I always like music videos for, not just to see the artists dancing or singing or who they, with their new look, but the story that would have inspired the words or the lyrics in the song. To me, that's one of the special parts about putting a video to a song.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and you made another good point, because I know that in European countries and Asian countries like China, Japan, Taiwan, Korea, they still have variety shows with where they have all their pop stars show up and perform, and they still show full length videos in these programs. We just don't have that here
No, we
anymore.
don't.
We have to find them ourselves. They're not served to us in a shiny package anymore.
It's really, to me, it's really interesting, because I think in a way that's the thing that I would miss. That's one of the things that I really miss about living in Europe, is that variety show thing that they have. And it's a lot of sometimes kind of hokey stuff, but it's really, it's something fun. Now I think our variety is maybe The Voice. There has to be a competition aspect or a sad story attached.
Our variety has sadly become The Masked Singer. Let's get real.
Oh gosh, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
forgot about that
God.
show.
Look, as long as we have Eurovision, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and as long as Madonna never shows up in a mask on stage, we're gonna be fine.
Oh yeah,
That will never happen.
I don't think so. That's true.
Well, and so there's another big anniversary that's happening this week as well. And
Is it though?
Is it?
You
This
know how I
week?
feel about anniversaries and
This
birthdays.
week, birthday anniversary. Well, True Blue has turned 35, and her team had teased a little special something was coming our way. Of course, Tony and I instantaneously thought merch, because we always, we love to order merch that arrives in time for Christmas.
I wanted a True
And-
Blue Build-A-Bear.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that would be lovely.
And then
Oh,
they had
Madonna.
MTV did a contest, right? So that somebody could
That's right.
make a
make my video.
Yes.
Remember, she goes, "Go ahead, make my video."
Busy right now, so she wants you to make the video for her new song, True Blue.
Go ahead. Come on, make my video.
Madonna's Make My Video contest. Anyone can enter. All you need is a camera and a vision.
So I'm thinking, True Blue, Blue Pacific, sailors. Yes, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, show me your legs. More legs. Oh, yeah. Oh, good, Buster. Good. Love it. Yeah. Waves. We need more waves. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And cut.
If you make the winning True Blue video, Madonna will personally hand you a director's fee of $25,000 cash. And MTV will world premiere your video from coast to coast. Plus, check out these perks: a Levi's 501 Blues wardrobe, Casio musical equipment, and enough Twix candy bars to pay off the entire cast. So grab any movie or video camera. Go high budget, low budget, or no budget. Shoot your vision and sync it to Madonna's True Blue. And send it to Madonna's Make My Video contest, care of MTV, 1775 Broadway, New York, New York, 10019. For everyone who's ever watched a video and said, I can do better.
I can do better. I can do better. Come on. I dare you. Come on.
And her hair was awful, and she was doing this I dare you, and it was like this whole thing.
It
And I
was precursor to Nikki Finn.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Do you guys remember the weekend that they announced the winner? They showed every single submission for the entire weekend, and it was painful. It was
No.
painful, some of those videos. Yeah. And, imagine listening to True Blue 473 times in 48 hours
Oh gosh.
while watching
Right, because they
really
had to
bad
replay that
amateur
song over and
videos,
over.
yeah.
Well, but look, the
Mhm.
thing I respect about the people who submitted to that contest on MTV, they were doing that with literally a VHS camcorder.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
not
And the people that won
you could just
made a
You
professional
felt like you
video.
could just whip up an iPhone and edit it
No.
on the camera and then just email it over. These people had to seriously hard edit on a camcorder on a VHS. And those, for people not remembering, camcorders back in the 80s were fucking huge. Like
Yeah.
they were the size of like a television screen, and
They were very
heavy.
huge. Yeah. And they weighed a ton. They probably weighed 20, 25 pounds.
Yeah, it was like carrying a toaster oven on your shoulder
Mhm.
while telling everybody to get in frame.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So kudos to those people for at least attempting to. I mean, I think that it was good for them.
If you're listening to this and you submitted a video, you need right now to send it to us. We want to see that video.
That
will
would be
dedicate an entire
amazing.
episode
I would
to
love
it.
to spotlight. I would love to spotlight people who submitted to those True Blue videos. Yes, please.
All right.
Okay. Well, so let's talk about True Blue for a little bit. What are some of your favorite songs?
Well, first, let's talk about how much improved the sound is, and we have a better sounding, remastered version.
Yes, it does.
True
Even
Blue album.
Jimmy sounded better this today. I was listening.
I knew you were
Who's
going
that?
to go there, Liberty. I knew it. You just love to bring up Jimmy.
I do. I actually like that song. I know.
That was her Cherish before she had Cherish.
Okay. Yeah,
maybe it was just a Texas thing, because I remember all the girls loved Jimmy the best out of that album, and I would look at them and be like, "Where is the taste here?" I was like,
well, look,
no.
it tells a little story, right, of a guy who's just, his britches are too big for that little one-horse town, and he's got to go. And I always dreamed about, like, what did Jimmy really look like? And who
James
was
Dean.
Jimmy? Yeah, exactly. Right.
I mean, I always thought she meant Jimmy from Desperately Seeking Susan.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I never put that one together.
That's who I thought. Jimmy. That's why every time she would say Jimmy, that's what I was like. Oh yeah, it's Jimmy from Desperately Seeking Susan.
Always imagined some, James Dean looking 50s guy, because that was her wheelhouse at that moment.
Right.
The Sean Penn Man with Tattoos in the 80s. That wasn't
true.
It wasn't everywhere at the time.
Okay. All right, fine. I'll go with you on that one, Tony.
But it does sound.
I'm not afraid to change my mind.
It sounds better. I mean,
yeah,
the sound overall is better, and that song sounds better. And I love.
Well, they cleaned it up too. I think the True Blue album that they had on her streaming platforms,
that's what I was
up
trying
until
to say.
now, was just a mess. I mean, it was, the versions were wildly inconsistent and out of control, and so thank goodness they've started like cleaning that stuff up. And I do think it was a little little strange, the like additional remixes that we got. Like, they aren't really remixes. I mean, they're sort of like, there's some instrumentals, there's some dubs, and
there's the proper remixes, which were the 12-inch singles. But yeah, then we got the instrumentals and the dubs, but those are just for DJs, so just don't worry about them. Just
I was going to say, if anyone wants to have a True Blue karaoke party, they can just cue that up. You've got Live to Tell, you've got La Isla Bonita. Is there an instrumental? There's a couple instrumentals, and I was just like, well, if you ever want to throw back a couple G&Ts on a Friday night
and twirl,
get out that microphone, go to town.
But I will say, I love the inclusion of the Papa Don't Preach 12-inch. I hadn't heard that in a long time, and it still delivers. And one of I guess my top 5 Madonna 12-inch remixes would be Open Your Heart, and I love hearing that. It's just kind of like a reworking extended version, but it hits all the notes. I love it.
I really like White Heat too. And everybody's gonna probably come at me here because I love it. I'm naming the songs that are probably like you have to remember, I was 9 or 10 when the album came out, probably 9, right? So I mean, this is the album that speaks to a 9-year-old girl's heart 100%. And you like movies, and you like pop stars, and it works.
Boys Named Jimmy.
Yeah, Boys Named Jimmy, Bad Boys, all of that. And it spoke to my imagination, and it still does. I love it.
Well, to me, I think it was a very cinematic shift for Madonna, if you can use cinematic for a music album. But it was, she had done her first 2 albums with that very specific Madonna look, and then left field, it was like chopped blonde hair and doo-wop sound on a couple of the songs, and Papa Don't Preach, and the iconic cover shot for
Yes.
that album. Like there was such a that is such an 80s album. It's one of the most recognizable album covers ever.
And it was short and sweet. I mean, this was an album
Mhm.
that every time someone put it on, you heard it all the way through. You didn't just pick one song.
That's right.
You know?
Start from the
And-
beginning and go all the way to the end too.
Mhm.
And dance to every, you know, song. Even Live to Tell, you've got to have this sort of dramatic starting on the floor always.
Mhm.
I just
Well, I mean, you know, for those of us that remember listening to it in its original format,
Yeah.
it's like "Live to Tell" was the last song on side one,
Mhm.
and you're like, wow, how could this get better? And then you flip it over to side two, and it's "Where's the Party?" And I'm like screaming. You know?
Yes, yes.
Mhm, mhm.
I still have Where's the Party in my mind every day on a Friday. Every day. Well, every Friday.
You know, I did too until I lost track of what day of the week it was.
Yeah.
That happens to me in the summer.
COVID sort of messed with time, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Someone brought to my attention the other day. It's like, well, where's the Party remix? And I quickly replied, I mean, that was not a single from True Blue. That actually was included in You Can Dance and remixed within an inch of its life, but it was not released as a single. So including it in the True Blue package, I think would just make no sense and kind of piss a lot of people off, you know?
Yeah.
It's strange that wasn't released as a single though, because it just
You know
seems like
why?
it would be such a great song.
It was going to be, but it was not released as a single because the same thing that happened to Borderline and Like a Virgin. There was no time left, and she had to release Who's That Girl?
Oh, well, that makes sense.
She had too many hit after hit after hit.
I love True Blue because I sort of feel like that was the last album she did that was, it didn't seem as if it was a concept album. It
Mhm.
sort of felt like they were just coming up with singles and plunking them together, which I'm not condemning the album in any way, because I think it's like her first three albums, they sort of just felt like a collection of songs that she did together and then released them. Whereas, you know, by the time she then got to Like a Prayer, it was like, and now Serious, you know, here's a thematic album.
Yeah, but she had been through so much in her life like up to the point between True Blue and Like a Prayer. For her personally, I think she couldn't go a different direction.
But yeah,
the pop, the shininess of the pop star world had kind of taken a, I don't know,
Weathered her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. It was like, yeah, the disappointment of the, you know, her marriage breaking up and, you know, just kind of putting it all in one place. And it wasn't like shiny pop star on, you know, in her Thunderbird, but I still appreciate and live for all the drama that Papa Don't Preach and La Isla Bonita and Live to Tell are providing on True Blue, though.
Very much so, because they are fun pop songs, but there is still something about them that has some maturity, I think, comparatively speaking, because if you think of like Lisa and Cult Jam, or, you know, something that was a little bit more bubblegummy and less drama, less emotion, because she has that emotion that some singers weren't.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people. For a lot of people, Papa Don't Preach isn't their favorite, and you know, someone even said to me, "It's like I don't really understand why that she even sings that song," and it's like Madonna's head at that time was really into Motown and the girl groups, and that is almost like a new, you know, an 80s version of a girl group song, you know, like Leader of the Pack or something like that.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
And then obviously True Blue is, you know, a doo-wop song, you know, for lack of a better word. And, you know, and then you kind of see that girl group influence throughout True Blue, and, you know, until its unforeseeable conclusion on Can't Stop in the Who's That Girl album, which I'm like, you know, okay, we get it. You like the girl groups, but you don't have to steal their entire their entire wheelhouse. But yeah, that's where her head was at right there. She was like really into the 50s and 60s.
I like that though, because it's true. Like if you listen to like the Supremes, they put out a song like Reflections, and
Or Love
Reflections,
Child.
those are serious songs,
Yeah.
and but they're kick-ass pop songs. And I've always respected Madonna for putting out Papa Don't Preach, because even though it wasn't necessarily talking about her, or was it? I mean, I don't know if she's ever confirmed or denied, but as serious as the content of that song is, give me those violins kicking in the beginning of that song, and I'm right there. I mean, I think Papa Don't Preach has always been one of my favorite Madonna songs.
Absolutely.
I think it's so iconic and so beautiful to listen to.
Yeah, and back to MTV, they played the shit out of that video because that was Madonna's new look, and no one knew.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, no, Gene Seberg. No one knew what to expect. I mean, I didn't. And that was one thing that made me an even bigger fan when I, saw that video come on, and I was like, oh my god, she looks completely different. I like where this is going.
Yeah, well, and I think that sort of set the bar, because then the next time Madonna was coming out with an album, you were thinking, what's she going to look like next?
Yeah.
And that was fun. It made it fun to sort of, is she going to look the same? Is she going to because we didn't have social media. She wasn't posting on Instagram every day being like, look at my hairstyle now. Here, look at this hairstyle. Here's this outfit. It was like you'd go months of not knowing what she was going to look like, and then ta-da!
Yeah.
There she was.
It was very manipulative. I mean, she kind of like took us on that ride, and now it's like, great, we can't even function without knowing what it's going to look like next, because it can't look the same,
Right.
Well, I mean, before we go on air, I always look and see if she's done anything on Instagram.
You do. You have to check.
Like, you gotta know. Like, is she? I mean, right now, David Banda is doing a Sunday Serenade, Country Roads.
Oh, that's sweet.
He's one dapperly dressed guy. Like,
he's got it all. He has got it all.
I want Madonna
Rocco,
to adopt me
just
so I could have his clothing line. Like, those are some sharp pants. Sorry, I digress. I'm back.
Yes, I love his. I love his eye for fashion, his ability to wear whatever he has the mood
available to
for.
him.
I love that he's brave enough to be in that on such a public platform, and his, I think, he could be a role model, I think, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I was thinking one day, I was like, what if David Banda decides to go back to Malawi and become the president?
Well, I mean,
oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah. Well, what if he's the one who becomes, the most, I don't know.
The next Ciccone pop star?
Yeah. I mean, he's super
Sorry,
talented.
Lola. You're sleeping on it. You've wasted your time.
Well, I think she prefers to be the mysterious behind the camera. She retains that mysterious part of what Madonna has always been able to do, I think, in terms of being photographed. Lola does.
I don't think I've ever heard Lola speak. Was she born without a tongue? Is that her angle?
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe she just doesn't have... I don't think she likes to talk to fans. So
yeah,
I've heard.
Well, I mean,
I've heard that.
She just denigrates them in comments on posts.
Yeah,
I would be a little creeped out if people wanted to talk to me about my mom.
Oh, can you even imagine? I mean, look, I popped in on last night. Ala Malik, he posted, or he went live, and I was like, oh, I'll just check that out because he's got his new song out and everything.
In case Madonna pops in.
Oh, well, how is that going for him?
Well, actually, his lyrics are kind of good. I have to say, I like the lyrics. It's just not. It's not really my like go-to style of music, but I like the message he kind of has going. But I also but I feel for him because honestly, every comment was like, "It's Saturday night. Why aren't you with Madonna?" And where's Madonna? It's nonstop, and I gotta say that's gotta be annoying for him.
Yeah,
it would be for me.
If everyone was asking you where Madonna was.
Well, yes.
Liberty, please tell us, where's Madonna? Why aren't you with Madonna, Liberty?
If I had some, menial job, like, I don't know, her pedicurist or something. Guys, I don't know. It's just the way some fans can be a little bit, too curious about her and her life and what she's where she is on a Saturday night without her boyfriend. Who knows? She could have been in the next room, but why is that? That's always for him going to be the focus, unfortunately.
Exactly. She loves to take a bath. She was probably in the bath, like mind your business. I'm working on music,
Yeah, exactly.
So it's been really great to, I did this all weekend. I didn't even plan it. I just put on True Blue and wanted to hear one song, and then the next thing you know, I'm listening to the whole thing. So yeah, it's still good. It's still going. I think all those videos have been released on HD. So yeah, True Blue. Thanks for having an anniversary.
See you at 36.
Yeah. See you next year. But yeah, we've got some really cool episodes coming up. I mean, we're not going to give away too much, and then there's always our I guess now annual Madonna birthday episode.
Extravaganza.
So but also, we are going to be guesting on Inside the Grooves Madonna birthday episode, which has a lot of great guests, including ourselves. So look out for that one. Wherever podcasts are heard. I'm not sure the drop date, but it's
I think he said August 14th.
Okay, yes. Just in time for Madonna's birthday or Sean Penn's birthday, whichever way you like to look at that.
For her to fly to wherever she'll be celebrating her birthday this year. Do you think it's not going to be in the Airstream, huh? Not going to be any hot dogs?
No.
Did she didn't go anywhere. She didn't have one of those big parties last year, but then she did go to Jamaica for New Year's. So I guess that's equivalent, I guess, because she always has an exotic birthday party, right?
It'll be interesting to see
Morocco.
where she goes. Yeah.
Hey, let's play a game. Where in the world is Madonna Louise Veronica Ciccone? That's our show for today. As usual, it was a pleasure having Liberty, a friend of the podcast, on the show. Thank you for joining us again today. I have a feeling we will be running into you on the birthday episode.
Oh,
she will be back just before you know it.
All right, don't sound too excited about it.
It was a pleasure.
Oh no, I'm so excited. I'm keeping my excitement level to a because if not, I'd just be like bouncing off the walls.
I know, explosions.
Well, I've had to work much harder than this for something I want, so don't try to resist me.
No comment from the Peanut Gallery. So you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at MLVC Podcast. Please like and subscribe to the podcast. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And check out our Patreon page. And, if one of your Madonna loving friends has not heard the show, share it with them. And until next time,
Liberty, take us out.
Thanks so much for listening, guys, to MLVC, the Madonna Podcast. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Go ahead. Make my video.
And you did. By the hundreds, by the thousands, they poured into MTV on videotape, film, cocktail napkins. Your videos for Madonna's True Blue. Out of literally billions, we picked 5. And out of those 5, you will pick one winner. That's right. We'll show them to you and you call in. It happens tonight at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 Pacific time. Who will get $25,000 for making Madonna's video? You decide.
After the winners have been determined, Madonna herself appeared at MTV Studios to present them with their check.
Hi. I'm sitting here with Angel Garcia and Cliff Guest, and they're the winners of the True Blue video contest. And as you know, the winner receives $25,000. So here I have $25,000, but there's 2 of you. So should I rip it in half?
You can try that.
Yeah?
Well, yeah.
All right, but I'll do it later because I don't want to bum these guys out in front of everybody. So I just want to ask you a question. How much did that video cost?
Good question, and a tough one.
No, I mean, be for real.
Be for real?
Yeah.
Under $1,000?
Really?
Yeah.
So do you think you could make my next video for under $1,000? I mean, because if you can, we have some things to talk about.
Yeah, we can try.
We can do it.
Okay, good.